my theory on dancehall is they should change the name, because I say the genre is named by the beat. So dancehall is the beat ain't that no more. It's more like a trappy, slower. So I feel like they need to this is a new genre, because reggae ain't dancehall. So when Bob Marley and them was singing, they were doing roots and they were doing reggae. Well, when dancehall come in, dancehall artists didn't say, yo, we make reggae. Americans class dancehall and everything Caribbean and reggae. But reggae, Bob Marley, Steel Pulse, Black Uhuru, Peter Tosh, them man were, yo, till I've laid to rest. Yes,
that's
it's a reggae song. You know what I'm saying? Well, I walk like a champion. That's a dancehall song.
Super.
Exactly. So,
people, welcome to the Dale Elliott Podcast. I am your host, Dale Elliott, and today I have a special guest. For me, super important. This is Mr. Theron Thomas. Now, this is probably one of the biggest songwriters. Well, the biggest songwriter in the history of the Caribbean. Let me put it this way. I don't really study songwriting like that, but me sure in the history of the Caribbean, this is the biggest songwriter. Me never want to say America and get it wrong.
Yeah.
But me sure, Mr. Theron Thomas, first of all, before we even start, thank you for the opportunity.
No man love.
To get me. And people, when I say the biggest songwriter, we are talking about I'm a millennial. So I grew up to your hits.
Okay.
Me I talk about from Aya's Replay
Tune
to Our City.
Yeah, Locked Away.
Locked Away. Me I talk about from Miley Cyrus with 23, with We Can't Stop.
Yeah.
Pour It Up.
Yeah.
Me I talk about like grew up.
Yeah.
Completely like, and it was like 3 years ago. I realized that it was an island man.
Oh no, a real island man too.
A real one. We don't even change about him talk or anything.
That's a real rock man for sure. Yeah, no. Respect, man. I appreciate that. I love to hear when people say like, yo, my boy, I've been liking your music from that. It's be like, what? You know, because sometimes when you're behind the scenes and you're making your music, you just be like, nobody don't even know I exist. And then you meet somebody who's like, yo, dog, I love what me? Oh man, thank you so much. They'll be fire.
Yeah, you know, my time I be like, yo, I think we don't know how that, you know. And then I start go down like the rabbit hole, like, yo, him do this. You know, all my life I just gone on there. I him do that, and I have the Grammy for that.
Yeah.
See, dog, do the island talk. Yeah, we in this mother scun.
Yo, Virgin Islands in this mother scun forever, my son. Trust me.
Listen to me, I need a statue in a Virgin Island.
Man, God willing, one day, you know what I'm saying? Listen, like I say, my father passed a couple years ago, but he will be smiling down from heaven. They got a statue of his sons in the Virgin Island. My father gonna just be like, I tell her, you from the beginning. Yeah.
So, in the world of music,
yes,
you are a heavy hitter, super influential in the world of music. I want to know the start. Everybody have like them journey.
Yeah.
And I want to know what is your journey coming from St. Thomas to where you're there right now?
Well, yo, man, so me and my brother who start music together because of my parents. Nobody in my family to make music. Only me and my brother. Nobody don't sing. Nobody don't make beats.
Nothing.
In the whole family.
So first,
just let's start there first. And my father and mother, they were young parents. So you know, my mother dropped out of high school when she had me. So they were young parents, and they still were going to the club, and so they were coming home playing like American hip hop and R&B in the house.
Yeah.
So me and my brother were like, yo, you know, just as youth man, we like, yo, they say hard, you know. And I remember Chris Cross, when the group Chris Cross come out, the whole time me and my brother had only seen grown-ups rap. So we were like, oh man, they say cool, but you can't do it when he's a youth man. Cause So we see I see the Chris Cross video, and I was like, yo, I want to do that. What you see? What that's what I want to do. And my father was like, yeah, you want to do that? And my father just start training me and my brother on performance and making music. And we had and there's a thing in the Virgin Islands. We from the Caribbean, so nobody don't do a hip hop. Everybody
not really.
Everybody
People
do calypso, soca, and dancehall.
I think
reggae.
we look fire weird. Like,
man, it's strange. Like, girl, why they try and rap? And we were rapping, and we rapping like American. So, but that's the only rap we had. No, we learned rap from watching it, you know. And we start off as that, and when I never forget, I was like 11 or 12. This dude, a dancehall artist, his name was Leg Terror, you know, Leg Terror. And he went in high school and he used to write our raps, write all our songs. Yeah, my brother was like 7 or 8 or 9, you know, when he started writing. And then one day he was like, yo, I want to focus on my solo vibe and my music. I don't want to write music for your sons no more. My father said, hey, I got to learn how to write music. You ain't going to depend on nobody. So go in your room and write me a song. And we were like, nah, we going out to play. He said, if you want to go outside to play, write me a song.
Bribe.
And we's like, what? My boy said, we got in the room, write our first tune, come back singing to my father. My father said, see, I could write songs. No, I got to write all our songs. Okay. And my father would just make us write every day, stay sharp, you know. And it's so funny, back then there wasn't no Pro Tools, no cell phone. I couldn't record a voice note to remember it. No, we would write songs and memorize the song. I had like a whole notebook of like hundreds and hundreds of songs. You had to memorize all the tune them in order to like, okay, we're going to do it to this beat. We're going to perform this song at a little show or something like that. And we just come up from that part there, and me and my brother become really, me, my brother, and Benny. I don't know if you know Benny, but Akon DJ.
Yeah, Akon DJ.
The Akon DJ. We all grew up in the Virgin Islands together. And after that, when we start blowing up, we become really big as artists, graduate out of high school, and we were like, yo, we're going to move Babylon to try America. We're going to be like, yo, we try and make it in music. So we got a plane and we went to Miami. We stay in Miami. You know, I had a cousin. My cousin still live in Miami. Her name is Oshana, you know. That's like my sister, you know. And we were like staying with her boyfriend at the time. His name was Jason Roberts. And Jason had like 4 roommates. And he was like, yo, I try and start a record label. I go stay at our apartment. So we were sleeping in his dining room. Like on like a little thing. And we were there for like 10 months. And me and my brother were like, yo, man, we got to get out of Miami, man. Miami ain't moving as fast, so we need to move. We need to make it. We need to get a deal. So we flat broke. We ain't get nothing. Me and my brother saying, yo, we could go to New York. Because we don't know nothing about the music business. You know? We like, we could go to New York and we could just like perform outside of a label. And if somebody see with them and just give you a record deal, dog.
Yeah.
So me and my brother, or because we know people in Atlanta, we could go Atlanta because, you know, at this time, Lil Jon, like hip hop kind of blowing, hip hop really doing its thing. So while we having this debate, a promoter from the Virgin Islands promoter name is Candyman, but his name is Derek Perella. He's a family friend. He's like one of my father's best friends growing up. Yeah. The man called me and he said, yo, Theron and Timmy, I want to do a show with Jamban in Atlanta and I'm going to pay $250. So we were like, okay, cool. I go put her in a hotel for one night, bring her to Atlanta, and then I perform, and then I fly her back Miami. We like, no, just give her one way, man. We have some people up there, but we don't have no place to stay, you know. We have a hotel for one night. That man pay we $250, get we a hotel for one night, and I've been in Atlanta since 2001.
Yo, sometimes it's just, it's just the risk, you know. And not knowing. You see, when you're young, you don't know. It's like the best time to take them kind of leap there. And it changed your whole life.
Changed my whole life, man. Atlanta changed my life because we were there since 2001 and really hustling, really struggling, trying to build. And then, you know, when we were talking off camera, when my daughter was born in 2003, that's when, I don't want to say I wasn't taking music serious. I just didn't take music as like a job. Yeah. Music was like, this is what I love. Yeah, you know, I in the studio, chasing the dream. My daughter get born and I was like, yo, And I used to pray for this all the time. I say, yo, God, by the time my daughter is 5, please don't leave her understand or remember that we poor. I don't want her to live. I don't want her to know what nothing. This feel like, you know. And so said, so done. I work really hard. By my daughter's 5th birthday, I never forget I do my first publishing deal for like $1.5 million. Went to St. Thomas, buy a whole bunch of you know what I mean? Like it was just like, yo, I was so proud of myself. I was like, I can't believe I could. By the way, she don't even remember the Christmas or the rough time then. As a adult, like, you know, she's 21 now, you know.
Yeah,
so no, she's kind of like, she heard the stories and she's like, wow, but no, she's just like, my goal was to not have her in an environment that I grew up in, and I didn't, you know. She see the world from a different place, you know. She traveled the world, she's seen things. She had a privileged life with understanding how hard it is to accumulate the privilege, you know.
All right, beautiful.
And so So,
all right. More you carry me through from, because this is funny, and there's always this misconception about when you make like that first million, your first one, what was that like song that changed everything? And was it a situation where you was going to like put it down? How that hit song come about where change you?
It wasn't even a hit song, man. We were hot. Me and my brother were doing talent shows, and we get really, really hot in Atlanta. Like, people were like, bro, it's these 2 brothers from the Caribbean, bro. They in Atlanta going crazy, bro. And so we were in Atlanta doing the talent show circuit, really doing our vibe. And we were writing songs. And, you know, we had a bunch of, like, Usher were recording a song, Mario, like a bunch of artists were like recording our songs. Like, we were bubbling. And this woman by the name of Ethiopia, she come and she give me the deal, $1.5 million, you know what I'm saying? Which is a funny story, because when we didn't know what pub deals was, we had never heard the term before. So it was
I learned that when we moved come off foreign.
Yeah, we didn't know about that. So our lawyer were like, our lawyer at the time were like, based on where y'all at, based on the heat, y'all could do a pub deal for like for $75,000 to $150,000. So we were like, what?
Boss.
At this point in time, I work in at Party City part-time. Child support is $179, and I couldn't afford it. So I was just like, I was at a place, you know, you're defeated. I just feel like bad, like, yeah, man. And I was like, we could get $75,000, like cash up front. Whoa. And we start meeting with these people, and the first meeting we meet with this lady and our manager, and we all in this restaurant, and she's like, hey, Ray, I really want to sign the guys, man, and I don't want to bullshit, so I want to get to the point. Ray's like, okay, what do you have in mind? She's like, what do you guys want? He's like, no, you tell me what you are. You brought us to dinner, like, what you offering?
Yeah.
She's like, look, I'm going to jump out the window, because I really want the guys, and I don't want a whole bunch of crazy negotiations. $750,000.
Yo, imagine you are here that.
My boy, we had dinner. I kick in my manager under the table because he like really calm, and he's like, I was like, big man, in my mind, like, big man, what are you doing? Say yes to this woman. He's like, I really appreciate this. I really do. But how we like to do business is we like to discuss things. We don't like to make decisions. And so me and my brother is like,
upset.
When the fuck did we start doing that? He just, hey, he making this up. No. Give us that money that you. And she was like, I respect it and I understand. And we leave. And then we call our lawyer and we tell him. And he was like, hey, do not speak to nobody. Don't talk to nobody. Don't answer nobody calls. Let me do my thing. And we were like, okay. And I say about a couple days later, Ethiopia come to our studio and offer us $1 million. And we were like, wow.
Hey, I work at Party City.
My boy, yo. I had quit Party City at this point, but yeah, you know, and then we were like, dang. And then another publisher offer us $2 million. Dead serious. And Ethiopia come and say, yo, I can't give out $2 million. I really can't. But what I can do is I can teach y'all the business and educate y'all and put y'all in all the places y'all need to be so y'all could be around for a long time.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, we don't want to just be
One
a
money.
fly by night type of vibe. So we were like, cool. Hey, I thought we were going to get 75 grand. We had $1.5 million. Thank God. So we get a $1.5 million, spend the money in a year, owe the IRS $468,000 in back taxes.
Wait.
Mash up.
So they get 1.5 million.
Yes.
So did you guys ever get the whole 1.5?
Yeah. Me and my brother, so he gets 7.5.
Yeah.
And I owe the IRS a sheet of money for $468,000. I never forget going to the bank and Emma was like, sir, your accounts are freeze. I think you need to call the tax bureau. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
You sure you think everything good?
But yeah, what do you mean by that? What do you mean accounts freeze? What are you saying by that? No. We can't give you any money. Yeah, but my money in the bank. Yes, I understand. Sir, listen. Yeah, but I get bills to pay. Sir, you have an issue with the IRS and you need to talk to them. So call the IRS. And at this time, my wife now was just my girlfriend. She was my girl. And I got home to see her. And I say, yo, man, I had $1.5 million. I owe the IRS, da-da-da-da. So I tell her the whole spill. I scared, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this whole time that you've been my boyfriend, you had $1 million?
Real island man.
Yeah. I say, yeah, but you hear what I just said? Like, so she said, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? Why? I did it. I don't know none. I never heard that before. I say, you know about these things? I call my business manager. I say, yo, push in control of all the money. He was like,
serious fate that, you know?
He say, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. She's just your girlfriend. You guys aren't married. You know, listen, you don't want to do that. I said, my boy, if she robbed me, all she going to do is take the money to take care of our children. I only want the money for I just want my youth them to be good, you know. Like,
you know, that is how I look on things.
I could live in a 1-bedroom apartment, dog. I could sleep on a couch. I still the same ghetto man from housing that's like, oh, yo, just give me a pillow, no, and I gonna just sleep right there and I
survive.
I cool, dog. You know, if I could eat and I could sleep, I could make something shake. So he was like, I don't think it's a good idea. I say, you don't think so? Okay, cool. Here what? Move all my money over here. You fired. Thanks for what? What? Oh, no. This is my money. I know what I want to do. You telling me I can't do what I want to do. She going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, my girlfriend, who is now my wife, we've been married for 15 years. She's the one who to handle all the money. And I ain't never had no money problems, and I doing good. And I always say, yo, if she rob me, all she gonna do is take care of the children.
Take care of the pit.
I don't care.
Take care of the pit.
Yeah, that's all I aim. If the youth them good, listen, I believe that.
I live with that.
I could live with that.
I can live with that. if you have me pit to them, and you rob me, me pit to them good.
So
you know me to pit to them.
So you take my money and run off with the youth them. Yo, you wanna know what? I don't get up every day. I promise you I gonna make the money back.
Me must make it back.
I believe in myself. I used to be really afraid that, oh my God. I know because I've been in the business so long, I have met other successful people that don't do music. That man is like, and I is like, for the first time in my life, I is like, I am a smart-minded, strong-bodied man in the wall. It might take me long, but ain't nothing that I can't learn. If it's like, oh, music ain't working, let's sell houses. Houses ain't selling, let's go back to school. Let's
Hustler.
be. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I carry beyond.
No matter what way I go hustle.
Yeah.
So like, all right. So your first pop deal.
Yes.
Did you have a hit song as yet?
No.
Okay.
Not one.
So them, you know, say some serious fate that then.
Yes.
So
and we didn't have a hit for a while. So, you know, we get the money, spend the money. And then we write When I Grow Up for the Pussycat Dolls. And by the way, we had some placements, meaning we do Music for Love for Mario, If This Isn't Love for Jennifer Hudson. We like do tune that were like
bubbling.
Yeah, but When I Grow Up with the first song that were like, yo, the man they might have a vibe, you know?
You right? If This Isn't Love for Jennifer Hudson?
Yeah.
My people hide you. You lock away. Are you nobody that? It's just the range. I throw me off the range.
Well, you know, okay, you from the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when you grow up, you didn't just grow up hearing dance.
No, we listen to everything.
You listen to country, you listen to R&B, you listen to rock and roll, you listen to hip hop, you listen to dancehall. Now, Caribbean music is the prominent music because of where you are. It's like you can't go no place. I can't go no place in the Virgin Islands and not hear calypso, soca, bram, dancehall, reggae. It's the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But the radio station gonna play Bob Marley, Steel Pulse, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Jay-Z.
Every single genre.
Every single genre they'll play, they'll just be like, you know, the radio ain't like American radio. Yo, the man who playing the music, he to control the music like a DJ at the club.
Yeah.
And today, if that man come in and say, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man.
This is the vibes me I feel today.
I feel like this, and this man will play you a whole rock playlist all man until you go to school, and you like, that's what you get. So my range just come because, you know, in America, before streaming, they had segregated radio. So the man had urban radio, pop radio, rhythmic radio, country radio, and all these stations only played these genres. So if you like country, you had to go there to get. If I had like country, where we come from, it every place. All the music would blend together. Matter of fact, we would grow up and hear a country song sung by Sanchez that we thought was Sanchez song.
Listen to me. Them catch me. The amount of time
Ghost?
I am here, right? Listen me talk about Ghost. And I knew it's one more attitude. No, man. We did think Celine Dion and them people, like, when we used to hear certain songs, we did always think
they thief it from Caribbean people.
It from we.
Yeah. Yeah. As a youth man, you don't know, and you was like, yo, me ain't gonna lie, me really like this white girl version as much as the original.
Michael Bolton,
yeah,
Soul Provider. When me hear film version, me say, I did this, I never listen to.
My boy Maxi Priest. Ooh, baby, it's so wild. I like, yo, listen, up until 2012 or 2013, I swear to God, I thought that was Maxi Priest song.
I probably learned that maybe a couple months ago.
And because there's a thing, me and my brother tried to flip it for our album. And when we were working with Dr. Luke, he was like, yo, we have to clear it. And we were like, okay, yeah, we're gonna clear it with Maxi Priest. And he's like, that's not Maxi Priest. Dying Maxi Priest song? Oh my God, you just killed my childhood. Why would you do that to me?
You don't do this to me.
You're more than me. So yeah. No, just growing up. So my range of music just come from that. And the weird part is, like, anybody know Caribbean? Like, Caribbean is we come from a hood ghetto ratchet culture. Like, you know how to tell people you could be 12, 13 years old grinding up on a girl in a party. That's a normal thing. And guess what? I mean normal to the point where your parents saying like, hey, don't do that. That man is like, hey, look, go on. That's my culture. So when we come into American culture and we were writing music, I always used to be like a lot of songwriters that I love, The Dream, Neo, Rico Love. Like, I used to be watching them, man, like, how did they do that? Like, I trying to compete, and I just used to feel like I just can't. I say, yo, and I literally used to tell my manager this. I say, yo, if I ever figure out a way to make pop music hood and ghetto, I gonna be bigger than everyone. They can't beat me, because that's just who I naturally is. Like, you know, I as a person with my wife to be like, okay, babe, when we go in here, act. You gotta act. I like, why I have to act like that? It's a fucking hood. No, but you're not there anymore. Okay, you know what I mean? I is just a house man. So when I start looking at music and people, and I stopped studying music and I started studying human beings and the way they move, and I was like, wait a minute. Pop music were big, and then I watch rap. I was watching rap, and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, pop music slowing down, because I was following people and I was following drugs. I wasn't using drugs.
Yeah,
big difference. So let me explain. In the 60s, them man were the 60s with the Beatles, and them man was taking psychedelics, acid and them thing. If you listen to the music, it's a reflection of the drugs. Mm-hmm. Well, during the 70s, them man was cocaine get introduced, and if you notice, disco get really big.
Yeah.
Well, in the 80s, when crack get introduced, hip hop come to play. Mm-hmm. You know? And then I was like, okay, well, in the 90s and the 90s going into the 2000s, you start to walk into pop coming back, boy bands and douche. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's when people start taking ecstasy and da-da-da-da-da. Well, when people start drinking lean, popping porks and smoking weed, them drugs is kind of downers. So all the rap songs were slow. And you were like, people were like, yo, it's too slow. It's too slow. I say, my boy, the generation taking these drugs and the music is going to sound the way that the drugs they go.
So basically, you tell me, say music control the whole direction. Like music is basically whatever the generation I got through.
Yeah,
it reflect in the music.
Every if you look at it, the music always reflects the generation. Like I say, when things good, music dark, because rap were big during a great time. People were making money. It wasn't really a recession. Obama was president. And I'ma put my thumb in a butt was the biggest version. No, hip hop was the biggest thing. And as it declines and as a recession hit and people have less money and people are a little bit more stressed and people are a little bit more happy, people want to hear pata pate, kissy, some fun. People want to smile. People want to feel good in the time of turmoil.
You're right.
If you watch
2008 was the recession, right?
Yes.
That was the year with like, baby, are you down?
Yeah.
Like,
and once the recession,
it was beer up music.
It was beer up music because people
Mosh pit,
club. No, listen. Okay. I have a theory, and I'm gonna stress on the word theory because it ain't a fact. But how I feel is the reason why rap kind of in this place where everybody's like, rappers don't know what to do. Rappers don't know how to have fun. You know, no rapper right now could drop. I was like, good gracious, ass was bodacious. It's getting hot in here. They can't drop. If you really want to party with me, let me see. Rappers don't have that space to enjoy themselves, be animated and be like, no, all the rap is like, I'm a real street nigga, got money on me. It's like,
that's where it is right now.
That's where it is. But people in that space where they like, that's why female rap so big. Because girls having fun. Girls is just having a good time. Girls don't want to kill nobody. The most a girl says is like, I'm a prettier girl than you. I'm baddest bitch in the room. I'm thicker than all.
No badness, no screw face.
No screw face. They just want to shake ass and have a good time. And people is like, yo, bro, I want to do that. I want to go with I want to go with girls that's shaking ass and everybody's having fun. I don't want to go with, damn, it might be a shootout.
That is all me look bad.
Yeah, but it didn't bother you when you were 24 and 23. You wasn't 21 and 22 like, yo, nah. You were like, yo, this jam lit.
Right now.
As time and people progress and times change, people is like, yo, right now, I just want to have a good time.
Yeah, because like I said here, I feel like music in a weird space right now. And just said that, like dancehall music, even dancehall music now, you mentioned the time, how much the music a change and in a different space. Well,
dancehall music change and evolve. And my theory on dancehall is they should change the name because I say the genre is named by the beat. So dancehall is the beat ain't that no more. It's more like a trappy, slower. So I feel like they need to this is a new genre because reggae ain't dancehall. So when Bob Marley and them was singing, they were singing, they were doing roots and they were doing reggae. Well, when dancehall come in, dancehall artists didn't say, yo, we make reggae. Americans class dancehall and everything Caribbean and reggae. But reggae, Bob Marley, Steel Pulse, Black Uhuru, Peter Tosh, them man were, yo, till I've laid to rest. Yes,
that's
it's
reggae.
a reggae song. You know what I'm saying? May Allah walk like a champion. That's a dancehall song.
Super.
Exactly. So now that dancehall, the beat change. It's no like how to say reggaeton is not dembow. Yeah.
It's not?
No, dembow is a different genre.
Yeah. Because I know there's a little thing going on right now with the lawsuit.
Yeah. And the song Dembow. Yes, was the root of that genre. Yes. And what I'm saying, Dembow isn't reggaeton, and they name Dembow something different. You know what I mean? Like salsa isn't reggaeton. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like new dancehall needs to have a name for what, because ain't no problem what the youth them doing. Hey, yo.
Me like it.
Yeah. Me like, yo, you know, like, hey, do your tune, but I wouldn't consider it dancehall because now the rhythm change. You guys are creating your own place.
You call it trap dancehall.
Yeah, you could call it trap dancehall, but ain't as catchy as reggae and dancehall.
Yeah, just come up with a whole nother.
Yeah, it needs to be its own. It needs to be its own thing. Just like it needs to be its own thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like if they figure out like, yo, this is our genre, this is our music, then they could move it and evolve it how they want. But they still under the dancehall umbrella, which kind of like could get them stuck in like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, nah, dog. Out. Yo, respect the dancehall, respect the reggae, respect the ska, respect the Motown. We talking about all genres that eventually these things merged into other things. You know what I'm saying? Like blues and then R&B and R&B to rock and roll into like that's how music to go.
Hip hop and R&B is not the same genre.
It's not the same genre. So again. A lot of the new artists, they don't make dancehall tune too, you know.
Yeah.
But the trap vibes, like, you know, we were just talking about the Genius, and the Genius who is like one of the original people for the trap sound,
change the sound.
Yeah, start change the sound. I love the sound fire, but it should have its own name. Yeah, like, yo, we create our own thing from dancehall, and now we merged into this.
You know, so if we did do that, it would have big in its own right by itself right now. You know?
Yes, but if you is a person who love dancehall and you's a American person who love dancehall, holding on to what you know dancehall is like, I'm so special, you know when you go to American club and they play the same 9 dancehall tunes, like in my mind it's like, yo, and in dancehall, I feel like in rap, they kind of went away from love. Listen, I like the bad man, gunman, you know, pum pum fat like everybody else. We love it. But still they need a Beanie Man and the girl, them sugar, take the stars out the sky. You know what I'm saying? They always had the things of balance, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it need balance. They need to name the genre, own it. Like, yo, you create it. Like, hey, big man, I create this thing in my bedroom and
me start this.
Yeah, me start this. So this is what I name and this is what we going with, you know, so they don't pigeonholing you or point you in this box of that, you know, when, you know what I'm saying? Because that I feel like that's an issue as far as Caribbean culture and our music, you know what I mean? And then if we're going to go to Trinidad with Soca, melodies is crazy, danceable, did a sing about
move up and just when you hear soca, you just dance.
Yo, dance. But the thing about soca, because it's so fet bass, it just feel like this music is only for vacation and carnival. Period. Yes.
Yeah, me listen to soca from January to April.
And until somebody in soca sing, let me try think on a song.
Some conscious made song.
A song that we're
not for do that season.
It ain't have nothing to do with the fet We ain't drink no rum, nothing. It's just, we ain't whining, none of the traditional sense.
Yeah.
If somebody in soca just say, yo,
today was a good day.
yeah, girl, you're beautiful. You're the prettiest girl I ever seen. And the beat is soca. I feel like soca would have a real shot in becoming a prominent genre, you know? But I understand when it's your bread and butter, sometimes it's hard to like, okay, this is the tunes for the carnival, and these are the tunes I gonna drop to try to expand the genre. Because I feel like soca is melodic enough to expand, but the subject matter kind of stifling the genre.
Yeah, it need to expand. Let me talk about
That's just my professional opinion from somebody from the Caribbean that'll make pop songs.
That is where I try to get to. Because what I am getting to is you're like, you have so much pop hits.
Yes.
Like, all right, enough people, listen to me. All who have Vex. I listen to Doja Cat.
I love Doja Cat.
I love it. Listen to me. That's my shit.
That's right.
I need that.
Yeah.
and
oh, I do that one.
what?
That's like this, right? That's my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that one. Wait. Yeah, with Gucci Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
Are you
Yeah, I do
people
that.
swear about that, bro. Yo, that Sunday, Doja Cat, and for some reason, music evokes some certain emotion out of me.
Yeah.
That song to me, I want to go to H&M. I just want to buy something.
yeah.
I want to go to the mall. I want to hear that in a Foot Locker store. You know the one
Yeah.
that say, can you kiss me more?
Big tune.
There's just something about them kind of music there.
Yeah.
That always like draw a whole heap of things out of me. So when me see you have like the Adam Levine,
Yeah,
like the from Locked Away where you sing.
Locked Away is me and my brother Sam, but think on Locked Away how the hook will pop and the voices was dancehall.
It was, yeah.
And so when I talk to my Caribbean people going back to music, I'd be like, yo, you could merge the genres. You could, if you making a soca tune, you could make a tune that, traditionally sound like soca, but you could have a chorus that's like, I love you forever and ever and ever. And you could have somebody in a different genre sing it. And you could say, one of my favorite soca songs is by Kes, it named Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh yeah, we know that one.
And I love that song. And my thing is, I feel like that's my professional opinion it was great. I feel like it could have been bigger if the producers from Trinidad just were like, yo, I gonna get with somebody in another genre to merge, to heighten the sound so we could try push it further.
I think we need more of that. I think we need more fusion in our music.
Yo, my boy, what you think? Listen, Shaggy, you did call me on it. Them was hip hop beats. Shorty, you're my angel. That's a country song. Them is Shaggy merge genres with Caribbean energy and push it. Yo, Shorty's like a melody in that man from the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
We can go to the tropics. These is pop Caribbean.
He wrote that.
Yeah, I mean, but them is Caribbean essence and vibe. So I believe that as Caribbean people, we could grow and push ourselves further than we ever been. We just have to be willing and open to do it on a bigger level. We have to be willing to try and be like purposefully go in the studio and say, yo, this one here for the hood and to get to youth them, this one here for the gal them, and this one here to cross over. Why we want crossover? Because we want to push the genre
as far as possible.
In a world where streaming is concerned, the Caribbean culture is being left behind in the conversation. Afrobeats come in and took the place of dancehall in American nightclubs.
I feel that way.
You come to a nightclub now.
Sir, outside of the 10 dancehall songs, well, we can name the Who Am I, the weird one that no letting go,
bro.
Get Busy, Broke Off Your Back.
Special
Clarks. I'm so special.
What it one is, I remember those days when them tune they. Blessings are upon my life, and that song become a real big tune.
It's really like a solid 15.
It's okay, and all of them had crossover appeal, but this is the thing, they weren't trying crossover, me being, and I always tell people, I am from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, so I am Jamaican. So when I make locked away or Caribbean music, I doing my interpretation of a genre of music that I grew up loving. I just being like, yo, big up to Jamaica. You influenced me.
We I wonder which Jamaican that you know.
Yeah. And we from rock. And then you have other people who like, if me and my brother do other tunes, like we do a song.
We can't stop. We run things don't run.
Yo,
we
my boy, that's
Miley.
a thing that we just say as youth, man. My boy, I in St. Thomas growing up, and I just say, and that's something that we used to say. And the thing about it, I originally write the tune for Rihanna. That's why I make sure to add something Caribbean in the song.
Yeah.
When Rihanna didn't do it, I played for Miley, and Miley just were like, yo, this tune nasty. I gonna sing this tune, you know? And I was like, if you listen to my music as you go, I'd always, most of the times, I'd be like, yo, let me try sprinkle even from, so a lot of our tunes, them, if you go back in the day and you listen to our tunes, me and my brother was songwriters with a tag. You know, producers have a tag, but we were like the first songwriters with a tag. Right about now. But all our tag come from dancehall party, because the tag were like, yo, right about now, it's a brand new song, I want everybody to get down, large up yourself.
But just realize
that's literally what it was. And my manager was like, you can't put that on the beginning of a song. I like, why not? My nigga, you can't do all that bullshit. Bro, that's too much, bro. You tripping. You
have no idea.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. He's like, bro, you can't do that. So we were like, right about now. And that's why you get shot. Like, we were like, okay.
Oh, so they used to make it longer.
Oh, no, it was literally like, yo, right about now, it's a brand new song. Want the whole world to get down. One of the notes, like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because we were like, yo, me and my brother used to scream on the records because we used to have a bunch of leaks. But we used to scream from your love your mother, I Massive and Crew, Gunfinger. And we used to scream on the records to be annoying, thinking that they wouldn't put him out. Well, we scream on, if this isn't love, hello, hey, you heard her.
Yeah.
We scream on it, and then when we sent it to, when Jennifer Hudson was cutting it, we take it off. And she was like, yo, the original version of this song, there was like a guy just screaming. Where did the screaming go? And I was like, it was me, but we do it to, like, you know when people watermark something, so we do it for that.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I like it. Do it.
Put it back.
So if you hear the song now, worldwide, yeah. I was like, yeah, them is Caribbean dancehall party ad-libs.
Yo, me love hear the backstory. me like hear the backstory with them song here.
Yeah.
So like, all right, so your most recent, the song where you win the Grammy for, the All My Life. Me just want to know what kind of science behind of, cause me feel like the way you talk, you sound like you sit down and say, all right then, this did work, that did work, 5 + 5 at 10 over a year. So it look like there's a science to songwriting.
Yes.
That you feel like you get down to, because you have enough hits. So me know say you don't just write 100 songs and then see which one work. Although you still write 100 songs.
Yeah, still write a bunch of tune.
But where you sound very intentional with how you do music. So more you break down one of like your favorite songs will work and how you come about getting it.
Okay. So just breaking down music. When I write in songs in the studio by myself, just me and my brother or just alone, and nobody did to correct me, I just shoot in. You know, like you're in the gym, hey, miss, make, I just shoot in. I sharpen in the sword. And I ain't as intentional. I am more intentional when I in the studio with the artist.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? And by the way, my intent is to make a hit every time. I am intending to make a big song. But when I say it's not as intentional, I ain't really like, okay, best friend for Saweetie is like, yo, I have this theory when a girl is extremely beautiful that other girls tend to not really like them that much. So I was like, yo, Saweetie really pretty. So in order in order to bring girls on her side, let's do a song with her and girls where women could be like, man, I fought with Shawty, man.
Yeah.
I like her, and let's and that's just how I think. Like, so working with Saweetie, my intent is, how do we make something big still in the hip hop space, but how do we make everybody be like, I like her? Because I always try and study the psychology of stuff. And by the way, this don't mean that I always write or nothing. And me and Saweetie didn't talk about how girls feel about her.
Right.
I just like, in history, based on my life and how I've lived, what I have noticed is when a woman is really pretty or considered beautiful, sometimes women don't like them that much, in what I have seen.
That's what we notice.
So that's what I noticed. Yeah. So I would like, if I make a song for girls, like, they're my best friend, me and my girl, then it puts Saweetie in a light to women where it's like, oh, she a girl's girl. You understand what I'm saying? And girls rock with her. Locked Away was, my father went to prison for 5 years and my mother stayed with him the whole time. My parents were together for 43 years till my dad passed. And I remember just coming up with, if I got locked away. That's all I had. I didn't have nothing else. And my brother was like, yo, that is kind of cool. And we get in the studio with Luke and we start talking about it. And Locked Away probably take like 4 months to make.
Worth it though.
Man, it was definitely worth it. So my intent behind music sometimes, like, is just the psychology of people, because I need people to this gonna make me feel like this, and I only need 500,000 to go gold and 1 million to go platinum. If I could convince if I could find 1 million people in the world that feel the same way that I feel, I think we just win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always thinking on it from that standpoint, like, yo, I try and get 1 million people to agree with me. There's 365 million people in the United States of America. Hey, bro.
You just need one. Like
I just
1%.
need one. I just need one.
Less than 1%.
Yeah, that's less than 1%. I just need 1 million. I just need 1 million of them to, you know what I mean? So I feel like part of my formula is, I think a lot of the times when people in the studio, they try and please everybody, I just try and please the client. You know, that kind of way. I just try and be like, what does Lizzo need right now? Let's just do what Lizzo need, you know? What does RCT need? What does Rosie need, in the studio, thinking on APT, the whole thing with APT, seeing the game, suggesting that we make it a song. Rosie is from a group called Blackpink, one of the biggest K-pop groups in the world, biggest female group, if not the biggest, one of the biggest, right? When I look at their songs, 99.9999999% of their songs is English and Korean. And their biggest hits is English and Korean. So I was like, all their songs are really big is when they're Korean and English, meaning they embrace their culture
first
with pop. So I just thought, let's do something to embrace your culture while still being pop. And so when people, I think a lot of times when man get in the studio and men, women, they writing this music, they really is like, this is how I feel, which they work sometimes too. You might write a song and be like, today I feel sad. And, sometimes people will write songs and be like, yo, this was my personal story that I was going through, but Usher liked it and he sung it and it just happened to work for him. Like, my favorite song right there is Jermaine Dupri. Ever. And Jermaine Dupri, I remember Jermaine Dupri saying, Confession was about him, So
I never ever know that.
Yeah, he was the one who had the baby in LA and he that was his story. And it's like, so that could happen too, but most likely my intention comes from when I'm in with the artists and I sitting with them and I looking at them, I was like, what do you need to do? What have you, let me look at what you've done already. Okay, this is what you do. You know what you haven't done yet? You haven't done this, and it still fit that. Because that's another thing. You can't make the same song twice.
Yeah.
It's weird. As an artist, you might be like, yo, man, I just love the crazy in love era of Beyonce. She's never going to make music like that again.
She's not go back this again. Unless you name Rod Wave.
Yeah. No.
Rod Wave, I'm my artist though. But
I don't know too much about Rod Wave.
Him just sing one type of music.
Oh, hey, me man.
Rod Wave got about 5 albums now. All I'm friend them drug out, stress out same way. Woman a give him problem. Him not love nobody. Him hate everything. For 5 years now. Mother put him out. Father hate him. Fighting the world.
Yo.
About 7 albums.
What?
But hey, him halfway in a chokehold with the same. Rod Wave never happy ever.
Well.
No, but at that time style.
Okay, and I could explain that. Right? When I talk about hit songs, I just speak on it from a songwriter standpoint because that's my job.
Yeah.
Not from an artist. As an artist, artists are like Coca-Cola, the brand. When you see the red can, you're like, oh, somebody have a Coca-Cola. Rod Wave created a brand of sad, maybe misfit, maybe depressing music.
Yeah.
And he spoke and built a brand with those people. Yeah. So people that like Coke, they buy Coke. People that like Pepsi, they buy, True. Tyler, the creator, created a brand of misfits, misunderstood, unique thinking black suburban kids.
Him definitely catch me. Me are one of them from a long time.
Wait, my son love him. I just went to a concert in Atlanta. It was amazing. And he created a brand and a standard. By the way, they might not have chart topping hits. But they have if you as an artist and you know your fan base, if you figure out, I had to tell people this, let's say an arena that hold 40,000 people.
So Rod Wave, I would consider Rod Wave. So Rod Wave releases an album. It sells upwards of like, him always do like 200K, stuff like that first week.
Yeah.
And then him just carry it on the road and him just the straight arenas and impact them out. And we just love him. And him I do it now for maybe 6-7 years.
And this is the thing. If you put 40,000 people in a right, 50 states, 40,000 people, that's about 2 million people. Okay? After you get 2 million people, 50 states, 2 million people, you've sold out America.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when people come in the room and be like, yo, I'm making music for everybody. What? Why? 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 You can't please everybody. You have to be comfortable with being trash to somebody. I have a friend that don't like Beyonce. I know I have a home girl that don't think Michael Jackson good. I have friends that is like
Marley bigger.
No, we Caribbean. Nobody can. That's a last argument for me.
You think that as well?
I don't think. I know.
Good. That's all me I say. I'm in a fight with them.
No. Yeah, and so I feel like Erykah Badu said this thing that artists love to quote, I'm an artist, so I'm sensitive about my shit. Right? She said that. I love Erykah Badu. But the minute you make this sweatsuit and point out, you give us the right to say, I don't like it. I love it. I bought it. I liked it. You made this bag. You give me the right to say, no, I don't like that one. I like that one. So when you pull music, you give the listener and the viewer the right to say they don't like it. And not liking something don't mean somebody hates something. I always tell people, I'd be like, that sounds dumb to me. What? You a hater. When the music came on, the beat came on, the song came on. It went to my ears. It went to my brain. You know what my brain said? This fuck sound dumb.
That's his
what you want me to... Yo, you want my brain to be like, you know what? Know what, Theron? No, this actually is great because all those people like it. It actually must be good. No, I am just not a fan of that person. And you don't have to. It shouldn't be so upsetting when somebody don't like something.
True.
That you don't like. And
my brain can't register past a bad beat, you know. The first 5 seconds of a song for me is so important. Like, if me not like when me hear when it just turn on, you lose me.
Yo, let me tell you something.
No, me not like it.
Let me tell you something about me as a songwriter. About producers and songwriters. Them man to be like, yo, me want to send you songs. I want to sing your tune. I want to sing your tune. Sometimes I'd be like, it's too much. And once in a blue moon, I'd be like, you know what? Send me something. My boy. From the intro. Nope, don't like it. Next. From the intro. Nope, don't like it. So what people don't realize is them man is like, people think they have more time. People think like, yo, when you filming content and you do a video, you try and catch them as soon as
them open it, me supposed to do something important.
Yeah, that them man is like, wait, I need to know what happens next.
Yeah.
That's how music is. So when you have to make chords, something that is like, okay, what's going to happen? And a lot of times people don't think that people that make music selfishly. And I always say, yo, if you want to make music selfishly, be a busker. Go down in a train station in New York, put you down a thing, start singing, let people drop coin. If they like you, they don't like you, and cool. But if you want to be in the music business, you are going to have to, everybody compromise. You know what they say? Are you crazy? So-and-so never compromise.
You don't know that.
My boy, listen. I remember the story of Eminem finishing up the second album, going to Jimmy Iovine, turning it in, and Jimmy say, nah, you ain't have it yet. What? No, this album ain't done yet. Where the hits? I need the hits. He went back, I think I'm Slim Shady, yes, he went make the first single, whichever single was on that album. And then he make I Am Whatever You Say I Am. Now, guess what? If Jimmy Iovine didn't send him home and say the album ain't done, and a lot of the times I feel like people would be so upset and they'd be like, yo, in the music business, this business exists to make money. And I feel like people have money like this icky, dirty word, like, yo, if it's all about, no, it ain't all about the money. I think the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is some of the best art I've ever heard musically.
One of the best albums I ever listened to.
But she make a lot of money.
From that one album.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't care what you tell me, they, after Lauryn Hill made Ooh La La La, Ready or Not, Here I Come, Strumming My Pain. After her education and time with the Fugees and understanding how to make hit records and then getting in a room with music makers for herself, you can't tell me that they wasn't trying to make the best music ever. Why are you trying to make the best music ever? Just to make money.
Do that on
and
purpose.
It's okay. You know, I say this here yesterday. I was talking to my boy yesterday on his show, and I was talking to him, and I say, my wife loved me. I don't think if my wife say, babe, you know what I really would like? A G-Wagon car. I don't think she loved me any less. I don't think she loved me any less because I don't think so. Now, here to say, what if I can't afford the G-Wagon? Her not loving me is like, oh, you can't afford it? I gonna find me another man to do it. Yeah, no. If she's just like, babe, you know what? I always wanted a car like that. You know what, babe? I gonna go work hard and I gonna buy you that car one day. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's okay. Listen, to all my artists, producers, and writers, it's okay to want to make $1 million, $10 million. It's okay to want to buy your mother a house. It's okay to want gold and diamonds. Another thing, because what I like to tell you is like, I run rich, like a lot of wealthy white people too.
Yeah.
Yo, them are wearing $1,200 pants.
And you can't even see a $1,200.
Yeah. See, they're talking about you because your jewelry on your neck. But I know a lot of niggas with $2 million worth of jewelry and a Hanes white t-shirt on. So my thing is, we just spend our money different and we to show it. and you ain't gonna, and I was like,
you normally have a beer gold chain.
oh my gold. I'm in a hotel, and I have on gold, and I don't have on gold. And what it'll do is like, oh yeah, you know, you are. Listen, my boy, I invest the money. I put the kids in college. I donate to schools and to education and to music funds. I like gold. When I was a youth man in St. Thomas, all the bad man them had a bunch of gold Gucci chain. I was a youth. I couldn't afford it. I say when I grow up, one day I gonna buy that. I get money and I buy it. I don't understand how my gold chain's bothering you. Yo, my kids don't have student loans. My children ain't hungry. Their man ain't dirty. Their hair to be cut. Their clothes to be clean. They in a lovely environment. My wife, since she been with me, I think, my wife probably ain't walk for another person because she opened her own business.
Yeah.
My wife ain't walk for another human being probably in 16 or the 19 years that she been my girl. I did my job.
Yes, so me can do what I want.
So every black person that go and spend money on something that you deem to be ridiculous, I get Warren Buffett is worth $100 billion.
And I don't care.
Respect to Warren Buffett. Love him. I hope I could meet him and he could teach me also how to invest my money. But Warren Buffett probably have on a $6,000 suit. I just have on chains. Yo, I don't make it seem like they're not spending the money.
They are.
They are.
Because we're not seeing them at the airport, would we?
And I just feel like you shouldn't spend. My boy, they're flying private. Listen, I feel like you shouldn't spend the money until you have it. Meaning, I have loan. Do not buy nothing that you can't afford at least 3 times.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, yo, if the Rolls Royce costs $600,000, if you can't afford that car 3 times, if your car shouldn't cost more than your house, because it just
does not make no sense.
They don't make sense. I want us to do smart things, but at some point we have to be like, hey, you know what? You don't move cool, no braggadocio, nothing. You doing everything you're supposed to do. Yo, if I see the man and he's like, yo, this watch costs $200,000, I was like, yo, how your mother doing? She good? How your family doing? Yeah, man, everybody good. What you want a man to do? What? Why you working for all the money? What you working for? Denzel Washington said, I never see a U-Haul behind a horse. We can't take none of this with us.
Never.
Do not spend all the money. Do not try to keep up with the Joneses. Live within your means. That I will always be against, trying to overspend. But dog, I in the studio 5 days a week. Every time, if I is like, you know what? I really like these Travis Scott shoes.
Me I can buy them.
I gonna get them.
Me I can buy them because why me at work? Yeah, so you mentioned, say I talk about that. And so songwriting.
Yeah.
As a songwriter, me feel like whole heap of people don't even give credit to songwriters. Yeah. And me living in LA, I really just starting to understand how music works. Yeah. So just go studio one time. I never know that is you go to the studio sometime and you just see the songwriter there. And then there's this girl or boy here who is probably just the vessel. And him sing this, you probably write it. And him probably sing it. I don't know, sit down, I don't know, wait, and the artist come.
Songwriters is the ugly side piece that you don't want nobody to know that you're sleeping with.
I some feel like it's there.
No. My boy, you're like, yo, you don't want none of your friends know that you and this girl been linking. You don't want none of your friends know that you and this boy been linking. But this girl will make you happy. Boy, whoever you is, they'll make you feel good. You love to be around them, but you don't want anybody to know because they don't go with your image. They don't go with the brand. They don't go with the red can,
Yeah, because we can't see you write some of them songs there.
They don't go with the red can. So artists, and this is another thing. It'll be like something that I've always wanted to say. I'm glad you bring this up. I don't think, first of all, most of the songwriters and my peers don't get paid.
Yeah, that me that talk about.
Okay, so you ain't getting paid. So then you come in here and you're doing something that you love, trying to hopefully get to a place where you can get paid and you can take care of your family. For somebody to barely appreciate you, and then if they go out and they win, they ain't even gonna thank you. They ain't even gonna say, hey, no.
Such and such wrote this.
No, they're gonna thank the label that they complain about. You've been in a session with them for 3 weeks. All they say is, I hate my label. They don't take care of me. They're gonna be like, just wanna thank Epic Records for the opportunity. You just tell me you hate them. They're gonna thank celebrities in the crowd that they don't like.
Deal with them.
Don't deal with them. Don't return the calls. They're gonna thank the mother. They're gonna thank the boyfriend who never write them a song. Or
inspire them for nothing.
Never. They're going. I try and think because they
thank every single body.
But the person that write the song, the person that like, yo, but that was my idea in my head, and no, they don't. My boy, I even think you should thank the engineers. I just want to tell everybody, I don't work with every artist, and with all due respect, there's some engineers that is working magic out of this wall, and I want to leave. I know some of my favorite artists is so shit vocally that you every time you see their engineer, you should hug them and kiss them and be like, thank you for making my favorite artists sound presentable for me to tolerate their music, because they're so bad if you wasn't there.
And I never know that. Me being in like a session and understanding, like, me and Genius, a good friend.
Yeah, love the Genius.
Me understanding that the producer and the songwriter is so important in that room to put the song together. Even after the artist come in and just say the lines and leave, to sit down and start move this and take this part and put it here and change up the whole line and write it over. The producer them do some magical things, and then the songwriter and the producer have the synergy. We work together, and I don't want to say the singer does the easiest work.
No. Okay, so I would say
their job is different.
The producer is the engine, and the songwriter is the gas, and the singer is the car.
Yeah.
So the car, hey man, that Ferrari look really good, but the Ferrari can't go no place without the engine. Mm-hmm. Which is the production, and the Ferrari can't make it no place without gas.
But I think it's changing now, though. I feel like I am seeing more. I don't know if it's because I am more interested in it, but I am seeing more songwriters getting credit, or is no songwriters now like, oh no, man, I go, they gonna take the credit. I wrote that.
Yeah, I think a lot more songwriters saying it, because the weird part is the minute you put a name to the face, and you get more popular, more things could come to you. So it's like this. Most of the artists out there is like, they're famous. So let's say they ain't had a hit all year, but they still could go and perform their song that people know them for. Some brand might want to give them some money to do a commercial for the song.
Yeah.
And you, the writer, you's like, if you don't have nothing going on, then you just don't have nothing going on. And because the way that writers getting paid, the business changing. And I don't think writers want to come out and like rat and say, yo, you not writing, bro. I don't think it's that. I think writers is like, my boy, I just want to take care of my family, so I need to introduce.
Yeah.
Hey, world, my name is Theron Thomas. Even for me, it's like, yo, I was the first black person to win, the first black person, man, woman, to win Songwriter of the Year at the Grammys 2024 ever in life, in history. You know what I'm saying?
Longest we call a presentation to the talk.
Yeah.
Your speech.
Yo.
So you plan that to them. I say, yeah.
And to sit there, and it's like, yo, I think all the people that do what I do, and I speaking for the whole song, right? We just want to be able to take care of our families, and we want to be treated fairly, and we want to be able to audition. Now, think on this. They're making the like actors. I don't know how it really work per se, but let's say they have auditions for a Marvel movie. At least you know what if you know what the audition is, and you like, cool.
You can turn up.
Okay, you come, you didn't get a role, but you know what you get? An audition. And for me, I think a lot of songwriters, especially who people have done hits and stuff like that, all we ask is like, yo, I don't care what you have going on. You need hits to survive. The least you could do is respect a songwriter and say, yo, let me go sit with this man and meet with this man. And let me tell this man, I want to make music like this because your A&R, by the way, artists, your A&R saying something different. Your label saying something different. Your manager saying something different. None of them on the same page. All of them feel like you should be doing something different.
Some artists can't even hear a hit.
This is another thing that'll really drive you crazy. You tell your A&R is telling everybody we need up-tempo dance songs. Your manager is saying right now she's going through a breakup and she wants to sing about that and she needs a ballad. Okay, the label send out a thing and say we need Rihanna style pop songs. And everybody writing songs like this, and then you drop your single and it's a dancehall song. So people in my business, if we could speak to the artist, if you could do a Zoom call for 20 minutes with song, listen, I's a man, I don't even like people. Like straight up, I's like, big man, I want to be with my wife in my hotel room watching Netflix and cooling out. You don't have to worry about me. I don't be with celebrities like, yo, let me get your number. Let's take a photo.
Let's connect.
Let's hang out. I was like, big man, I want to hang with my children. First of all, you ain't even genuine enough to be my friend. So this ain't me saying I want to be. Just respect the people that going into a room that's trying to do something that, yes, can change my life, but also change yours. And have the respect to say, yo, hey, everybody, I'm going to do it. Y'all doing a session for me at 2 o'clock. I'm going to get on a Zoom at 1:30 and 1:45, and I'll be like, hey, guys, listen, thank you guys for what you're about to do. What I really, really am looking for is something like this, da-da-da-da. Bam. Hey, thank you for the insight from you. Now we know, and we're going
to... I've seen artists turn up all 5 hours late, to a whole session, where Missy writers, they write song for them whole day, and the artist just turn up 3-4 hours late. I said them not feel none and just left.
Well,
or don't turn up at all.
Artists, in order to be a successful artist, you have to be sort of like, it have to be all about me. And that don't bother me. It being all about you. You's a star, you have, hey, right now, we need to shine the light on you.
And me, I got benefit from it. So
yeah, and I gonna benefit from the light shining on you. So let's shine the light on you. But I always tell people, if you treat yourself like a flashlight, then you could only shine the light on, I don't only shine the light on who I want the light. But if you walk in a room of sunshine, everybody to get your light, And I always say, it's better I've been sunshine than just a flashlight, because now you're like, this is as much light as I gonna give you. Because what people don't realize is the people behind the scenes is sharing your light. If you become sunlight, we all shine. But if you're just a flashlight, you shining on the 2-3 people that you like. I really like her and I really like it. And I was like, yeah, but all them people help you. There's no artist, none. And listen, you to hear the stories. Yo, bro, I did this, I did that. And I was like, yeah. And you don't manage yourself. You didn't negotiate that deal.
You didn't do it your own.
You did there's always somebody. Think on this. Let's talk from a manager's perspective. A manager gonna come, get up. He gonna pull your dreams. Your dreams is what gonna take care of his family. He get up every day. You feel like he ain't doing enough work, bam, bam, bam. You just fire him, leave him. Now you making the millions of dollars and somebody else reaping the benefit. And he built with you from the beginning. Oh, yeah, you had a 3-year contract. Now I want a bigger, better manager, because he been managing The Weeknd. And he been managing Doja Cat. And he been managing Kelly Rowland. And he been managing Beyonce. I know. And it don't always work out like that. It's a relationship. I always tell people, not because she break your heart, she gonna break mine, you know. You could be like, yo, this girl broke up my heart. Oh, God, she's a terrible person. And me and she over here,
good
frolicking. 30 years of marriage, 4 children. And you was like, yo. So I always say, when you going back to the management and the team, that it just have to be a balance and fairness. And we in a business where it unfair. And it's unfair on a lot of different sides. Yeah. But I just don't feel like anybody to be trying to see it. And most of the people, sad to say, most of the people who just speak on it, they're speaking from a place of anger, and they should be angry. It is something to be angry about. But I don't think people could hear you. Say me and you in a confrontation, and you wrong.
Yeah.
And I say, yo, punk mother. You'd be like, hey, I don't care how wrong I is. Big man, you don't talk to me like that.
I know it's a something totally
No, it's
different.
a something, you know? And so, even though you may be right, when you come out like, yo, you did it, I just feel like, hey, boom, boom, boom. And if you don't want to meet me in the middle, no, I have to move in a different way. And it's going to be a point where, again, more songwriters going to turn into artists. They are, because they're going to be like
Sia.
More songwriters going to be like, man, I just going to write songs for myself because I try and write songs for other people difficult and I can't make no money and I can't take care of myself.
Yeah. How is it that they, as a songwriter, how did they get, me hear like songwriters are like one of like the last set of people.
Yeah, we are one of the last set of people to pay. And yo, big up to my manager, Ray Daniels, and I just say this all the time because I am one of the few songwriters that they get paid upfront and a fee. And when I say upfront and fee, like a lot of songwriters that get a fee, they'll be like, yo, you send me the beat, I gonna say it produced by me and you, and now they're gonna pay me as a producer. I don't produce. I don't make beats. I don't want to be called a producer, you know, because that's what they do. That's what they try to do to like, yeah, this is how we can justify paying you. You're a producer. No.
You go pay me.
I never see nobody sing a beat. You sing your favorite beat. Sing it. Your favorite beat.
Can't sing a beat. Can't sing a beat.
Exactly. So
can't hum it.
You probably could hum, and you got hum the drums. Exactly. That's all I saying. So for me, I was like, and by the way, this takes years and years and years, and so the people that are coming up is like, yo, everybody in my position, so I can't make it seem like, yo, this is what you gotta do. I could only speak based on what I have been through, and I could only speak based on where I am. I can't tell you, because sometimes giving advice, people will be like, yeah, he's saying that, but bro, everybody can't. You're right. Everybody can't do what I do.
Boy, I mean, hate them people I say, man.
I don't like I as a man, we could complain about entertainment because we both in the entertainment business, and I assume that we are both actively trying to do things to change what we don't like about the entertainment business.
Naturally.
But if I don't want to sit down and talk and complain to you about things that I can't change.
You just
I was like, so when people talk to me, like, I was like, why? Okay, I hear you out. What are you currently doing to change
how
that?
we are gonna fix that now? Because we can't fix it. So
we can't fix it just in here yelling at each other like, yo, I'm telling you, bro, they trying to rip us off, bro. They don't care. Okay, how about this? I agree with everything you just say. No, tell me how to fix it.
And then we're not gonna know with it. So, you know what? One important question I always want to ask. So, like, being here while living in Jamaica, I feel like I used to look at music differently.
Yeah.
And coming here, the business of music is a massive business. Like, people take it super serious, timing important, people, labels have the connections here, push you when you need to go. And I've seen sometimes when people out of my country, Jamaica, when we come here and we get the opportunity to like work with the label and things, there's sometimes we just don't fit. I don't know what is like the cultural disconnect with.
Well, it is a cultural disconnect, you know. Caribbean people, we don't move on our own pace and our own time, which that's Caribbean people. And I feel like it's a bit of both people's fault meeting in the middle. As a Caribbean person, when you come here, if I come in your house and you tell me to take off my shoes, shouldn't I take off my shoes?
Yeah.
When you leave Jamaica and you reach to America, you are no longer in Jamaica. You're in another man's house.
Yeah.
So try to walk as best as you can in this man's house. But also, if you American wanting to work with Jamaica and you call me out my house to come here, you should try accommodate me and you should try to understand my culture a little bit more than you have. Don't just be like, yo, you can't. Listen, I was cooling in Jamaica, St. Thomas, Trinidad, Antigua, and Anguilla. Your mother's can bring your ass down here and tell me, no, I hear you saying this. No.
One song a year. And
I feel like we have to meet each other in the middle. Like I'm like American business people, you want to invest your money in things. Well, if you're going to invest your money in Jamaica, go to Jamaica. Talk to those people. Learn the culture and the people and understand what you're investing in. Because Jamaica in Atlanta. Atlanta in LA. LA in New York. New York in St. Thomas. You are dealing with a collectively different set of people. And you should learn, understand their culture and bring them in. To the people coming into the music business, you should also know if you go and you want to open a business and you go to the bank and you get a loan, the minute you take that loan, you
agree to every terms that depend the piece of paper.
You take the money, take the weed and left the what? You take the you take the money.
You take the money. Like
you take the money.
Yeah.
So you take the money. You come. You take the money. You went. You buy what you buy. You're moving around. The whole hood love you. And now
time for work.
Now it's time to work. Now it's time to. And you want to say, yo, no. Hey. You take the money. So to everybody, to all the Caribbean people, yeah, it is a disconnect. I come here in 2001. My boy, it was such a culture shock. People that do things different. My boy, to this day, I'd still be in a room with all kind of people. I'd go to Korea. I'd work with Asians people. I'd go to LA, Miami, New York, work with white people, work with black people, work with Spanish people. And as a Caribbean man from St. Thomas, I'd be like, what the fuck? Yo, everybody this ain't how we don't move.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I am your tough now. This is your house. I'm going to take off my shoes. Let me adapt while I here. Mm-hmm. But when you come to my house, you should adapt. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like Caribbean people, adapt don't mean change. Adapt don't mean like all of a sudden, no, because we were just in Hawaii working on a tune and we were writing music with some writers and the man say something in the music and me and my brother say, yo, no disrespect. But as Caribbean people,
we can't say that.
I can't say that.
We can't say that.
Listen to me. We working together, but my culture does not allow me
to do that.
To say that. You know what? I feel you. Yeah.
And you just understand.
And they understand. And that's where when Caribbean people come here, you just have to say, hey, my culture
can't take one song a year.
I have to drop tune. I have to.
Dancehall artists can't release one song for you unless you train your fan base like that.
And dying how it is. But the thing about it is like, you know, black culture is like, you know, black culture sometimes, especially dancehall rap, is like street culture, like dope boy culture. You can't just come on it. You can't come on the block with one dime bag.
No.
You got to keep feeding the block. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you're going to grow, you keep feeding the block until the bigger you get, you don't have to put yourself out there as much. Mm-hmm. But when you start, you know, when you're trying to become Sean Paul, when you're trying to become Beanie Man, when you're trying to become Bounty Killer, when you're trying to become Vybz Kartel, when you're trying to become Buju, my boy, you gotta be on that man head top that man gotta be like, Jesus Christ.
Be your son.
Yo, just tune for this. And so when American labels come and they say, yo, we want to work with you, they have to be like, we are dealing with a culture that may be different from how we to move. So let's understand it, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna lose the essence of the artist. You ain't gonna make no money, and it's gonna be a waste of time and energy.
Then they might blame the artist.
And then you blame the artist where you didn't even try to understand that, yo, the only way this works is if I could move like this because my culture requires this of me. And if I do right by my culture, I gonna keep doing this till I merge into your culture. And now you gonna get the hits and the big songs that you want. But I have to be able to do it this way. And I don't think people are going to the business negotiating the terms of how it'll work based on cultures. A lot of the time people will be like,
how much you give me?
Yeah, how much you gonna give me? And when you understand business, sometimes taking a lot of money could be the worst thing you could do for yourself. I know it sounds good. Yo, they gave me $10 million.
In the initial stages, can give you $10 million and you literally just sign off your whole career.
When we do our first deal and I tell my father we get $1.5 million, and we were so excited. My father say, wait, if they could give I $1.5 million like it's nothing, how much money they have? I never think about that, you know. I just was like, yo, that man give me, I got $1 million.
What?
So I've always been in a place in my life where, you know, at some point I want to be the person able to give somebody, a youth man, the opportunity, the $1.5 million opportunity that I get. And if it's not $1.5 million, what
something
I want to be able to be like, yo, and I always tell people, like on my Instagram, I don't respond to people, I don't talk to people. I always tell Caribbean people, like, especially, I is a real Caribbean man within the mix of pop culture, surviving, thriving, doing extremely well. I'd be like, dog, ask me the questions, but be willing to take the answers. Because you a Caribbean man will hit me and say,
I don't like way.
And then I'd be like, yo, to be honest, they'd be like, oh, big man, yo, I'm I think I could control, man. You think I want, my boy, you ain't signed to me ain't get nothing from you. Listen, I sitting in this chair. You want to know how to get to this chair?
This is how you do it.
How about this? Not even this is how you do it. This is how I did it. Whatever in there work for you, do that. And whatever don't work for you, don't do it. That's the best I could do for you.
Yo, I really enjoy that conversation. Man. I feel like I learned so much. I learned so much with the ins and outs of the business. And I just want to thank you for forward.
Yeah, yo.
You know? Trust me.
These will be my favorite interviews because these are interviews where they're just talking my accent. Whenever I talking to Americans and it'd be like, yo, I want y'all to understand. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I can't bother with it too, you know. When me have to like doctor up how me speak.
But let me tell you. Though. Okay, let me tell you why as Caribbean people or people from other places shouldn't bother you. If you know Spanish and you go Puerto Rico, you going to speak English?
No.
Meaning St. Amos. If I sit in amongst American and I could speak the way they could speak because I want to get my point across and I trying to educate you on something that's going to take me further, I going to say it in any way that you understand. I want you. You guess what? I don't need to understand you. I need you to understand me. So I want Caribbean people to look at it from a different place and mean disrespecting my islands because guess what? When I win my award and it was my moment, I was 100% a Caribbean man.
100%.
Yeah, I really for rock.
Everybody was like this.
And when I doing a podcast with a fellow Caribbean man, I don't have to listen. Caribbean people watching this, they ain't gonna be like, yo, what is saying? Exactly. No. So anybody that catch this that isn't Caribbean, this may not be the podcast for you.
Exactly. This was fit.
This for the people, you know. This for our people. So, I definitely want Caribbean people to know that we can cross over. We can be big. We can do multi-genres. All of us raised in the same type of vibe. You listen to our genres. I listen to our genres. So, any Caribbean person trying to get into this, you don't have to just be like,
don't box in yourself.
Yo, nah, you can make Locked Away, All My Life, APT, About Damn Time. You can make any tune you want because, we was raised in that environment to be, and we was built to be those type of people.
And we have to work hard, relentlessly.
Let me tell you.
Consistent.
You have to work hard because nobody don't want. This is the thing about being successful. When you become successful, you know what everybody know? They have to pay you. And nobody don't want to pay you. So if you don't work hard, and you don't become successful, you're going to never make money. Success means when people, listen, when people see me, they'll be like, I don't know if I want to call T right now. Why? Because he going to cost.
You have to pay me.
Yeah, I don't know. Babe, let's not walk into Louis Vuitton right now. I don't know if I want to pay that. You know, we more in a Zara H&M place. Yeah, or we ain't shopping today. I don't want to walk into the mall because I know once I walk in here that stuff costs. So when people walk into my studio, people don't walk into my studio like, oh man, I'm so happy you go.
No.
Hey brother,
me need to hit the
it costs
cars
to go in there.
So here what?
It costs to go. Hey, you sure you want to go in there? It costs to go in there. So that's what hard work all about. You want to walk to a point where when people see you, you ever see like the prettiest girl you ever see where you're like, yo, I can't afford her. I can't afford this girl.
I have to just leave her alone.
Yo, like, and she, guess what? She might not even care about money, nothing, but
you lose before you even.
She's so well put together. She's so on her stuff. That's like a man that well dressed in a suit driving a nice car. You just assume the man probably live with his mother. You don't know. So my thing is working hard, putting yourself in a position that when people see you, without you having to argue and go back and forth,
say nothing.
they believe
Your resume.
that costs money.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna call him yet because I ain't ready to pay him.
Yeah. Even with me in that social media, sometimes when I see certain like people reach out, I always be like, yeah, me not there yet. Because like, me not feel like you're supposed to ask me to do this.
Yeah.
But me know, say, all right then, you don't see me there yet, but give me some more time. Me I work for me Kevin at stand up. Just give me some time.
Yeah.
Give me some time. Cause me I the stand up now and it's been good. And you know, in terms me I do a Live Nation tour.
That's fire.
Yeah, me I tour Europe. Me I do Indigo O2.
Oh.
Yeah, sell out the first show in London. Me I do Birmingham, Manchester. Me I tour Canada.
You gotta let me know when you got a show coming up, man. I want to come check it out.
Yeah, man. Me almost come at St. Thomas too. Me so rich over there though.
Oh man, fire.
So
you let me know. I'll
there.
come out.
Yeah, the promoter did tell me say that price a bit much for me. Then he link me back.
Hey.
He be tell me say much, and then he link me back.
Let me tell you something. First of all, about the small islands. Let's just always remember. I never been to a concert in Jamaica till Buju got out of prison.
Yeah.
There was about 30 to 40,000 people in an arena.
Mm-hmm.
The population of St. Thomas is 65,000 people.
Everybody out of there, yeah.
So literally 40,000, 45,000 people. There was 20,000 people in St. Thomas that stayed home, and the rest of the Virgin Islands was at Buju concert.
Yeah.
That's how I was thinking. And so to all the people, your price is your price. And I always say, like me and my brother, we do certain small islands.
Yeah.
And our price is our price, but we might give a blight to a small island because I know these people necessarily don't get nothing. But this is the thing.
And a bag of people not there either.
What people don't realize is like, okay, your price is $100,000. You say, man, yo, I gonna charge you half my price. But guess what? When these 10,000 people show up, because nobody else don't come to this marketplace, I gonna come back 4 more times and make more than $100,000. Not only I gonna come back and make 4 more times, all these people, they gonna buy me t-shirts, they gonna watch me stand up. I get 10,000 fans because everybody's like, yo, you can't afford $100,000, me coming. New York need to afford the $100,000, but a little small little town that have a little bit of people that is like, yo, again, don't play yourself and hold on, we ain't gonna take $3,000.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? But get to a point where you're like, I have my big city price and I see what a girl name is, Monique, the comedian Monique.
They're everywhere.
Monique was doing an arena and then she do this. Listen, I ain't even over exaggerating. The club probably as big as this room. And Monique were in there and the tickets were inexpensive. And we come and she like, listen to me. I don't care what nobody say. Especially when you black, especially when you come from poverty. Don't forget the people in the cheap seats. Because when you listen, the people in the cheap seats is who to hold you up. The motherfuckers that spend $15,000 to sit in the front, They in the front to post a picture to tell their friends that they were there. They are not there for you.
Them not really. And the man when I spend
the man who spent $20 all the way in the back.
Want to see you.
That man literally went to walk and take his last $20 and buy
That man take him last gear.
He last and buy 3 tickets for he girl and he daughter or son to come watch you sing a song. So listen, make your money, be the biggest businessman. I get it's like, yo, I'm big for that. Don't forget the people in the cheap seats.
Never.
Ever.
All right, people, you hear that? All right, then we're out.
Peace.
I love this.